Everything looked okay at first until the inspector started running water and flushing stuff, and then I could hear him from underneath the house going, "Well, we got water," and he took a video, and there was like just water gushing out.
All right, Chris, you recently had a deal, water, all kinds of craziness that popped up in the inspection. Walk us through what the challenge was, how did you make it through it, and then how did you solve it and make it good for everybody?
All right, so long story short, we were under contract on a home. We set up the inspection, and we did the inspection and found out there were pipes leaking underneath the home. So pretty much the way you start is, first off, what do you put on your offer when you send it in? Do you make provisions for this? Do you state out clearly what's going to happen in the event that something's found in the inspection? And how long is your inspection period? Usually, at least what I do, usually it's 7 to 10 days. So it's really important to make sure you get your inspection done immediately after your offer is accepted, so that you still have time to work out any problems if there are any at all.
Yeah. So this one's fairly serious. I mean, broken pipes under a house, right? So if water was backing up into the house, or talk us through what was the actual challenge itself?
So everything looked okay at first until the inspector started running water and flushing stuff, and then I could hear him from underneath the house going, "Well, we got water," and he took a video, and there was like just water gushing out. So in that instance, then at that time, you take it back, and depending on what you have written in your offer, you take it back to the sellers, and you go, "Hey, we found X, Y, and Z." And then from there, you go and back to negotiating. Will the seller contribute all or none, some or none to this or not? And then at that point, it's up to you to decide if this house is worth you moving forward. For my client, it was not. And luckily, in our original offer, I wrote a clause in there to say, hey, if the inspection comes back for any reason unsatisfactory, full EMD to be returned to buyer, which is very important, because if you don't put that in there, the seller does not have to release your EMD.
Yeah. Yeah, and so if you run in that scenario and you've got water, this must have been a crawl space, right? Yeah. So crawl space, you see water coming into the home, you figure out how expensive is this going to be, right? And so once you get a gauge on how expensive, then you can understand how much of it am I willing to take on. If it's a super competitive situation, then you may choose, hey, we got the house, the plumbing's gonna cost me $1,000. I'm just gonna eat that cost and not ask the seller, right? Or if it's $30,000 worth of stuff, well, at this point, we got to figure out how this is getting chopped up, because I'm not willing to allocate another $30,000 to get this house up to speed. So it sounds like for his client, that didn't work out. They're going to go find a house where they don't turn on the drains and water come into the crawl space, yeah. Right? And the other issue with that too is if you've got a lot of water coming in the crawl on a consistent basis, mold, sitting water, right? All these challenges can pop up. So you got to get to the root cause and then solve the other stuff too. So if you got any questions or you want to work with an experienced agent like Chris, go ahead and reach out. We're always running into different challenges on properties, and sometimes they work out for the consumer and we get to the finish line. And sometimes we got to pivot and go find a different one, right? And that's what they've done. So go ahead and reach out. Love to talk to you.